No fear from Goldberg.
The Survivor Series is the one night where anything can happen, and history is made in the most unpredictable ways. This is the stage where unforgettable moments unfold, where alliances crumble, and where the most shocking twists leave fans gasping in disbelief. Whether it's the heartbreak of a betrayal or the thrill of an iconic debut, Survivor Series has delivered some of the most mind-blowing moments in WWE history that fans still talk about to this day. Today, we're exposing the 6 most shocking moments in Survivor Series history. This is not your average street-side fistfight. These are moments that shook the very foundation of wrestling from betrayal to victory. These are the moments that turned the whole WWE universe upside down. But before we dive into the content, we have a very small request. If you like our videos, please support us by subscribing to the channel. It's a small click for you, but to us, it means a lot. Thanks. Now let's begin.
Watching this, I had no idea what was going on as it was happening.
The Montreal Screwjob changes wrestling forever. Let's talk about a moment in wrestling that shook the very foundation of WWE. November 9th, 1997 Survivor Series, the night that the Montreal Screwjob happened. It's still the most controversial event in WWE history, and its effects rippled through the industry, changing everything forever. Bret Hart, the man considered the best there ever was set to leave WWE for WCW. But Vince McMahon had other plans. What was supposed to be a simple match for the WWF Championship turned into one of the most infamous betrayals ever seen. The finish to the match was planned to make Hart lose the title in his home country of Canada. But Hart didn't agree to it. He didn't want to lose in such a manner, especially not to Shawn Michaels, in front of the fans who adored him. Vince McMahon, however, had already made up his mind. Without Bret's knowledge, he instructed the referee to call for the bell while Bret was in the sharpshooter, even though he hadn't tapped out. The crowd went wild, but for all the wrong reasons. Fans didn't know what to think. Was it part of the story, or had something truly gone wrong? This incident not only led to Bret's departure from WWE, but also gave birth to the Mr. McMahon character. It was a turning point that shaped the Attitude Era and made Vince the villain we all love to hate. The Montreal Screwjob was that night when the art of wrestling changed forever.
McMahon said ring the bell. Wait a minute.
The Rock joins the corporation. Up next at number 2, we have The Rock joining the corporation in one of the most shocking turns in WWE history. You've seen him as the People's Champion, the charismatic megastar who electrified the crowd. But in 1998, The Rock pulled off one of the most shocking turns in wrestling history, leaving fans gasping and questioning everything they thought they knew about their hero. At the 1998 Survivor Series, Rock, who had been a beloved babyface just months earlier, turned his back on the fans in one of the most jaw-dropping betrayals. He was in the middle of the World Title Tournament final against Mankind. The match was already rife with tension, as both men fought for the industry's biggest prize. Then came the moment that would change everything. In the midst of their battle, Rock shockingly aligned himself with Vince McMahon, joining the corporation, the corporate faction that ruled the WWE with an iron fist. What made it so shocking wasn't just that he turned on Mankind. That Rock, who had been the smiling, fan-favorite rookie, was now on the side of the villainous McMahon. Now, who would have thought of that? The crowd's reaction was incredible. Fans couldn't believe what they were seeing. The Rock, who had built his persona around being the people's hero, was now part of the system. But this move catapulted him into a new level of stardom. His character evolved from a cocky, overconfident rookie into a corporate villain with a major edge. It was a masterstroke that set the stage for his rise to the top, leaving fans stunned and glued to their screens, wondering where the line between good and bad had truly gone. What did you think of The Rock's betrayal? Did you see it coming, or was it a complete shock? Let us know in the comments below. The Dead Man Arrives, The Undertaker's debut. When The Undertaker walked into the ring at Survivor Series 1990, the entire world of professional wrestling was never the same. There had been larger-than-life characters before, but nothing quite like this. The Dead Man, as he was known, was an enigma. He was fated to be that extraordinary force that would go on to dominate WWE for decades. This moment was so shocking because fans had never seen anything like it. The Undertaker's entrance was nothing short of a huge spectacle. The music hit. It was like a slow, creepy funeral march, and out walked a towering figure in a long coat and wide-brimmed hat. He walked with a disturbingly calm aura. It was so dreadful that it instantly captivated everyone watching the show. The crowd didn't know what to make of him. Was he some sort of bizarre gimmick? Or was this the beginning of something truly unique? Well, as the years went on, fans quickly realized that The Undertaker was more than just a gimmick. He went on to become one of the most iconic figures in WWE history. His presence in the ring was unmatched, and his ghostly persona was a cocktail of dark cult and wrestling's larger-than-life appeal. That night, The Undertaker was introduced as a member of Ted DiBiase's team in a tag match, and while his character would evolve over time, the shocking debut was a moment no one would forget. It was the birth of The Undertaker, who would go on to have one of the most storied careers in WWE history, with a streak that would haunt wrestlers' dreams for years.
No way!
The Shield debuts and destroys Ryback. We have The Shield debuting and destroying Ryback in a shocking turn of events. When you think about jaw-dropping moments in WWE, one of the most unexpected came at Survivor Series 2012. Ryback, the powerhouse riding huge momentum, was part of a triple threat match against CM Punk and John Cena for the WWE Championship. The crowd was ready for a Ryback victory, expecting him to finally claim the top title in WWE. But what they didn't expect was The Shield. The Shield, a mysterious faction that had been wreaking havoc on WWE's landscape for weeks, made their shocking debut in the middle of Ryback's title match. But don't mistake it for just a run-in. Truth is, they destroyed Ryback. Dean Ambrose, Seth Rollins, and Roman Reigns, all newcomers to the WWE spotlight, entered the match and made an immediate impact, taking down Ryback with brutal force. Now that a decade has passed, when you look back, what made this moment so shocking was the suddenness and the unpredictability. The Shield was like a wrestler's tag team. They were a well-coordinated, hazardous group that would change the power structure of WWE forever. Ryback, who was thought to be the next big thing, was instantly derailed, and the Shield made a statement. They weren't just here to interfere. They were here to reshape the entire landscape. For fans, it was the start of something new. The Shield's debut marked the rise of 3 future WWE megastars. It had Reigns, Rollins, and Ambrose. And their first appearance proved that they weren't just going to be another faction. They were going to be the ones pulling the strings and making the most significant moves in WWE for years to come. Did you think they would make such an impact so soon? Share your thoughts with us in the comments.
No fear from Goldberg.
Goldberg squashes Brock Lesnar in 86 seconds. Let's talk about one of the most jaw-dropping upsets in Survivor Series history. Fast forward to November 20th, 2016. Goldberg, who had been away from the ring for over a decade, steps into the squared circle to face Brock Lesnar. Fans were expecting a long, brutal battle, with Lesnar's immense power and Goldberg's legendary intensity going head-to-head in an epic showdown. Instead, we got a shocking, surreal twist that left the audience in utter disbelief. The match started, and before anyone could blink, Goldberg delivered a spear, followed by another spear, and then the jackhammer. And just like that, it was over. Goldberg pinned Lesnar in just 86 seconds. Fans sat in stunned silence, trying to process what had just happened. Brock Lesnar, the beast who had dominated WWE for years, was taken down in less than 2 minutes by a man who hadn't even been active in the company for years. No doubt the speed of the match shocked everyone. But what this meant was darker and would redefine the whole narrative around both wrestlers. Goldberg, who had last wrestled in 2004, showed that even after all these years, he could still go toe-to-toe with the top stars. And for Brock Lesnar, this was that kind of brutal humiliation that completely flipped the script. The shockwaves from this match reverberated across the wrestling world. What fans thought would be a long, grueling fight turned into a memorable moment that left everyone buzzing. It wasn't just a win for Goldberg, it was a defining moment that proved in the world of wrestling anything could happen in a heartbeat. Sting finally debuts in WWE. It was a moment fans had waited for years. After years of anticipation, rumors, and near misses, the icon himself finally made his WWE debut at Survivor Series 2014. Sting, one of the biggest names in wrestling history and the face of WCW, had never appeared in WWE until that night. Fans had spent decades hoping for this moment, and when it finally came, it was absolute madness. The match at Survivor Series featured Team Cena versus Team Authority. The Authority had been running roughshod over WWE, and it looked like they were on the verge of taking complete control. But just when it seemed like Cena's team was doomed, the lights went out, and the dreadful sound of Sting's theme music echoed throughout the arena. The crowd erupted in cheers as the Stinger made his way to the ring, staring down Triple H before hitting him with the Scorpion Death Drop. What made this debut so special wasn't just the fact that Sting was finally in WWE, but rather how he was introduced. He made a massive impact by taking down Triple H's henchmen and giving Cena's team the edge. It was a perfect moment of nostalgia and shock, as fans realized that the man who had fought for WCW against WWE's biggest stars was now standing in WWE's ring, challenging the system from within. Sting's debut was a dream come true for wrestling fans. It was a moment that bridged the gap between two eras of wrestling, making history in front of millions of fans. For those who grew up watching WCW, this was the payoff they had been waiting for, and it was every bit as epic as they'd hoped it would be.
Oh my God, the dead has risen.
Marvelous verdict. From the betrayal at the Montreal Screwjob, to The Rock's insane turn, The Undertaker's debut, The Shield's arrival, Goldberg's destruction of Brock Lesnar, and Sting's long-awaited WWE debut, these moments have left a lasting impact on the WWE universe. Survivor Series is a night where legends are made, rivalries are born, and history is written. Of course, we can't forget other massive moments like the Hardy Boys' surprise return or The Undertaker's undefeated streak at the event. So, what do you think? Now, we know there are so many unforgettable moments from Survivor Series, but these were the top 6 moments, according to me. What are the ones you just can't forget? And which ones do you think we should cover next? Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.